Mike, first of all, before I take that out of there, I've just got to say it's great to see you again. And I don't know if you remember that funky old track that I just played you into, but rather than have this hardcore sort of street rap music, I thought it'd be quite nice to have something, a little bit of old soul, because I know you love a bit of old classic soul. Yeah, good. Mike, welcome to Bristol. There's a for you.
Thank you very much.
Our first session is going to be, because we're going to do two sessions tonight, so get yourself nice and comfortable.
So nice seeing you, Mark. You look so nice glitters, shine. I see you really, and you haven't seen your good man.
I'm getting worried about you now, Mike. Please don't even go there.
You got it. Good friend, long time no see.
It really is. We've actually worked together for about 10 years, so what's nice for me is that of all, and there's never, I don't think a question that I put to you, and I have tested you where I've upset you or offended you. We have to talk about the good, the bad, and sometimes some of the more difficult questions, but I always try and do it in a respectful way.
No, this is life on life terms, man, and these are beautiful people, and Jane did a great show. This is, man, this is wonderful.
The first interview session we're going to do, I thought we'd talk about some of the early years, first of all, and then in the second bit we'll roll into brought up in a very rough, tough part of town.
Yeah, really bad, really bad. Poorest section in New York City. It's dreadful.
Tell us about that, Mike. What's it
It's
like?
a real, all neighborhoods have the real bad sections where, I don't know, maybe Brixton or London, but just I'm from a real bad section in New York City, the poorest city in New York, and it was just really bad. It was crime infested, it was drug infested, and it was just very difficult to make it. And my mother was alcoholic, my father was a pimp, and it was very difficult for me to make it. And it was just, I was in and out of reform schools, and I was committing crime, really, young age, really bad crimes. And I got arrested, and I met this guy that was a boxer, his name was Bobby Stewart. And he said, you want to try to do this? No, this is the real story. I was already locked up, but it was sometime during the weekend, he would come and box with all the other kids in the facility. And I would see the guys coming over, and they would have broken ribs, busted eyes, cracked teeth, but they were happy. That was fun, they were happy. I said, what's going on over there? They said, we're boxing Mr. Stewart over this. I said, I want to box him. So I'm looking at Mr. Stewart, and he's a skinny white guy. I said, I'm kicking his fucking ass. So I never had a boxing glove on in my life. And so I'm swelling away. And he hit me in my stomach. I never had a stomach before, and I threw anything I ever ate in my life up. And I went over to Mr. Stewart, I said, can you teach me how to do that? I'm not thinking about being a boxer. I'm thinking about I can go on the street and hit somebody in the stomach and go in their pocket and get down like I went down. So, this is crazy. But he said, no, I'm going to teach you anything. But eventually I, started being respectful and doing my chores and everything. He started teaching me how to box. And I had broken nose on there. He said, my wife said I can't box you no more. You want to go somewhere where somebody can take you to the next level, And he took me to this gentleman named Costiamato. And I met Costiamato. I thought he was some pervert or something at first. But he didn't know. When he saw me box, he said, if you listen to me, you'll be the youngest heavyweight champ of all time. And I said, yeah, right. I didn't believe this guy. I didn't know he was a genius because I knew nothing about fighting. And he started training me. I won a national championship. And once I'd done that, I'd never done anything good in my life. I said, wow, I'm listening to everything this guy tells me to do. And that's how it started. I started winning national championships, started getting a big name. And then eventually, I was 18 and 19, and he died. He had cancer and died, yeah. And that was just one of the down points of my life.
I know that. I know that, having spoke about Cuss before, he came along at the right time, but he went away at the wrong time too, didn't he?
Absolutely, yes. Well, I still to this moment don't understand how I meet this guy and all of a sudden I'm hearing from all these people.
Yeah. I know.
Things happen in life, and then I started fighting. I won the championship at 20 years old. And after that, I don't know if anybody's 20 here, but you know, I still have friends 16 years old, of course. You know, I can't go in the bar and stuff. You know, I do, but, you know, I really legally can't. But I do. So, I don't know. I had a bunch of, when I come from this guy, 13-year-old kid from the juvenile center. Next thing you know, I got millions of dollars thrown at me and all that. Wow, that's just crazy. But yes, that happened.
It must have been really difficult because you became world champion at 20. I mean, we jumped on a little bit because I was going to talk a bit more about the Cuss situation. But then Cuss isn't there. You have now become world champion. You've got a posse around you of followers, some of them trying to mislead you down all these bad roads, and you're a multi-millionaire. How the hell did you deal with that?
Hey, I don't even know how. You know, I had all this money, right? I had all these hundreds of millions of dollars. I couldn't get anything done. I'd be happy if I eat my breakfast. You know, I couldn't get anything done. You know, I don't have a tenth of that now. I get everything done. You know, I got Golden Globes where I can focus on something. I can't even believe I'm still living after going through that boxing thing. But it was just a wonderful thing, though. It was really wonderful. I wish I was being younger. You know, my philosophy in life with me is like I got old too soon, I got fast too late, you know? Time went by so damn fast. I saw this young guy here, and he had his father, he was a young fighter, and his father's not much older than, maybe 20, 18 years older than him, and his son had no idea how quick he's gonna be that old. It's happened so quick, and I was like, golly.
When you look back through your teens, let's go back to there for a minute. Is there anything that you when you look at these young guys now that you think, oh, I wish I could have done that, or I missed out on doing that? And
no, the guys now are so much smarter and have more, a better support system than the fighters than when I was fighting.
Yeah.
No, dude, still in the dark ages. These guys are out of the, they see the light now, they're out of the dark ages. They're totally different breed of people than we are.
How did the training compare to those days, the lead up to when you were going to become pro? How does it differ from the way it is today?
I don't know. Yes, it's just different. If you watch the guys fight, you know, they don't want to hurt each other. And I know it sounds pretty crude, right? But if you watch boxing, you expect these guys to want to hurt each other. That's just not what it is today, you know. In my time, I was trained to be entertainment. That's just being entertained. You have to have the desire to want to hurt the other guy. You know, I know that sounds pretty crude now, but that's just what it is in this particular kind of business I was in. You have to want to do that, you know. If you don't want to do that, you're not going to do well in doing that.
You weren't in there long enough to entertain, because in the first 19 fights, you knocked 12 of them out in the first round. Come on.
I had a great teacher. Most of the kind of people always give me a lot of credit. I had a great teacher. No way I could have been. If I had anybody else trained, there's no way I would have been as successful if I didn't have custody of Motto. It's just no way.
Time in your life, without a doubt.
No doubt gave me confidence. Once I had confidence, forget it. It was sometimes I had a little bit too much. I wanted, to transcend and be megalomaniac, but I never believed in myself. I had no courage or nothing until I met him.
Would it be fair to say, because I've heard this said a few times, would it be fair to say that at times, Cuss, it was difficult for him to keep you under control because you were a bit of a wild guy at times?
I was. He always had me under control, though.
Did he?
I was just a kid. I did crazy things. Boom, he put me right in check and no more. Just like that. I always believe in order to succeed in anything in life, not just sports, you have to have somebody that you admire and idolize.
Yeah.
I really like.
I know that it's just done there. It can just hit you. It's like a stab through the heart, where it could just make you cry when you hear the man's name. And that's good. That's not bad. To be able to have that, it just shows one thing to everybody in this room, that you have got heart, you have got feelings. People might not think you have, but I know you have. It's good. Interesting, you were saying about you wanted to be the entertainer in the ring, and yet all these other guys, they'd come into the ring with all their fancy loud music and their tassels on their boots, but you would come in, no music, black shorts, little pair of black boots, and you would just walk into the ring.
I don't know, now I'm a different person. I'm always smucking around, but back then you had to be serious. What I was doing, I thought it was serious, and people told me this is serious. This is your job. This guy's gonna hurt you. Yeah, and that's what that was just always our objective.
Yeah. How much did you learn? Because I know you're a real boxing historian as well, and you sat there for hours. And I can remember you saying to me on one occasion that to get yourself ready for a fight? You would watch old fights. How much would you learn, and how much would these old fights sort of inspire you prior to a big fight?
No, that's anybody, I think, if they wanted to be the best in the world in anything, you have to go to where it began. You have to see the guys that came before you, and that's just the kind of guy I was. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to know who were the best, and when I watched fights, they inspired me. And that's just what when I was a kid, that's all I ever wanted to do was be a fighter. I didn't know anything else. Champ of the world, best fighter in the world. That's all I ever knew. That's all I ever heard.
Yeah.
You know, I always kept myself a long time ago, maybe. But thank you. That's all I ever heard. You know, I was
We'll be going to questions in a little while. I've got a big pile of some great questions up here, but we're just going to gloss through, if you like, for the time being. Is it true that one of the early fights that you had, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody pulled this to my attention. It might have even been you years ago, that you fought one of your friends just to help the guy out a little bit. He wasn't a particularly good boxer, but you...
No, I would never fight a guy. I never fought a person that was my friend. If you were my friend, if you was in that ring, you weren't anymore. You know? I never did that, but my sparring partners, I've never, if they're older guys and they can't get any money, guys don't want to spar them, unless they're going to get hurt. I just let them hang around and pay them like sparring partners. You always got to give back. That's what boxing taught me about life, that you're not going to win every fight, and sometimes you don't. But you gotta fight.
Yeah.
You gotta help people.
Tell us about this one particular opponent, because I know that you've had there was a few ups and downs with him. A guy called Mitch Green.
Oh God, you don't want to talk about Mitch Green, do you?
I do.
Look, I'm out in the club one night, right? We're in our club. I'm going to buy this jacket, and this guy's I'm selling. He might tell you fat. Oh, I wish you had a screen to see this guy. This guy was just a maniac guy. So, oh man, he was really crazy. And I'm not like this no more, but I had to slug him back then. It was in '88. I was a slugger in '88. In '88, I had to slug this guy. And I thought, oh man, that was another bad mistake. I wish I didn't do that. He sued me, of course. Yeah. No, I'm just a humble guy now. Yeah, he's a really bad dude, man.
Was there an incident? Did something happen out on the street with him?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I had to fight him in the ring, but then I had to fight him in the street. He saw me, he was on heroin, and he attacked me, kind of. Attacked me back. like you do on the wait and see.
Obviously, like any guy turning pro, you get to the point where this name is being bantered around, not just around America, it's being bantered around the world. The bar has to get raised. You then start going for title fights. Trevor Berbick, one hell of a fight. In fact, one or two people have picked up on here as, it was probably the fight that got everybody around the world rattling about you. Talk us through that.
At that time, I was a young kid fighting Trevor Berbick, right? That's all I ever wanted to do was fight. Since I was 12 years old, because that's all we thought about was fighting champion and doing this and fighting him this way. And I was just a robot back then. I didn't have any social life. I didn't have a girl till I was 19. I was really smart, right? And this is my life. So that was a big moment. And when I fought this guy, there was just no way I thought I was going to lose. It's just that's all I had my tunnel vision for, And I wasn't going to let cuss down no kind of way. So that was a moment of glory right there.
Incredible. What a knockout as well. It was. It's been up on our screen earlier on tonight, that particular fight, the Berbick fight. He's no longer with us, by the way. He was murdered, wasn't he?
Yeah, by one of his relatives, I believe. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just happy that I was able to allow Tyson's dream to come true. Though.
Yeah, without a doubt. The journey for you, going on from being a world champion, you obviously get the opportunity to unify these belts. Talk us through those unification fights.
Well, it happened so fast,
Yeah.
But that's just all I was training for. I was more like a robot. I didn't have much of a personal life back then, and that's just what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be a fighter and fight these guys and be in the record books and be in the people in barbershops talk about you and stuff like you see on television. And I didn't have any other kind of inclination in the world outside of that, right? And that's just all I wanted to do. I just wanted to beat these fighters, get their belts, and be Mike Tyson, that guy. It sounds so mundane now when I think about it, because it's been so long ago, but that's just all my life consists of.
I mean, physically, if people were to look at photographs of yourself alongside some of these opponents, some of them were like 12 inches taller than you, maybe 30, 40, 50 pounds bigger and heavier than you, and yet, for a heavyweight, you were really quite a small heavyweight, weren't you, by comparison?
Yeah, but fighting doesn't have nothing to do with size and stuff. Fighting has a lot to do with spirit and desire, how bad you want it. That's what fighting's all about. When you really look at fighting, besides the Klitschko, most of the heavyweight champions are really not big guys and stuff,
Yeah.
In any kind of sports, it's the size of the man, the fighting the man, you know what I mean?
I mean, it must have been an advantage when you were younger because you got the advantage of speed, being able to get inside that big guy. Did that perhaps, when you got a little bit older, did you feel yourself, as you were coming through your career towards the end, that perhaps at the end of your career, your speed was what you were having to readapt?
100%. I gained weight, I got heavier, and I lost my desire. You know what I mean? The reason why things are you don't believe you could do it no more. I think the reason when you were saying that these guys are so much bigger and stronger and taller, yeah, right, but the reality is that I wanted to win, I wanted to be there. I trained for that moment.
Yeah.
That's just all my life has been about preparing.
Yeah. I mean, what comes across so strong is that for a world champion, yeah, you've got to tick a lot of these boxes, but the two things that you can't train that have got to be put into you is the heart and the desire to win.
100%.
But also up here, it's got to be, the mindset has got to be right. And I know Cuss gave you those two things, didn't he? He gave you the heart and he gave you the mind.
Absolutely. What's more important than anything, he gave me the confidence to believe that I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's more important than anything.
Yeah. How would you feel about your son one day becoming a professional fighter?
They just don't have it in them.
No.
They don't have it in mother spoiled them. They're in middle class kids. They go to Ivy League school. They're not for fighting. The girls are more fighters than the guys in my family.
Oh, they really?
They're not fighters like that. They like music and girls and puzzles and.
But I mean, I've actually seen you with your kids, and it's like it's magical, really. I mean, it really is. You're a sweet dad. You really are a sweet dad.
Well, listen, I just got a lot of work to make up on. Being this guy, Mike Tyson, best man, whoever this guy was, a lot of people suffer because I'm so into myself and living that life my kids suffer.
Yeah.
I can't spend as much time as I wanted to them. I just don't have to have the time to do it now. It's better get it late than never, and I believe I have it now.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
From a family perspective.
I mean, people often say to me, "Oh, you interviewed Mike Tyson. What's he really like?" And do you know what I say? I say, "Do you know what? He's a really down-to-earth guy. He's a lovely guy. He's not what people expect." And I think that's coming through already, isn't it, tonight?
It's funny to say that.
It's true though.
It's just that you don't have the English. American people don't get me yet. They're kind to now a little bit. They don't get me like these guys did from the beginning for some reason.
You've always said that.
The English guys, the guys got me right away. The English people, American people just never got me until a little bit.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, they know.
It's crazy. Right, we're now going to talk about a guy that tried to take your belts off you. He's very popular over here. That's the guy.
No, he's fighting with Oh no.
In all honesty, he did rock you at one point. He did catch you with a good shot.
Absolutely.
Talk us through Bruno, because I know that you and him have got there's a real friendship there.
Bruno. I heard Frank wasn't doing well last time I was over here. But Frank is an amazing man. You have to understand that many people could do come up and be groomed like I would have won a champion. But Frank went through adversity at first. He lost the bone crush, he lost the wooden spoon, and he continued. He stayed on the road. He didn't get diverted or anything. And eventually he won his gold. And that's what champions are made of. That's the champion.
Yeah. Respect, yeah. For the record, Frank is on the mend. I've just started going out doing evenings with him again now.
So happy.
But he's got bipolar, which is, you know, it's quite a bad thing. He has to have medication, and he wants to get out there and get himself right. You know, it's.
Bring him out. Now listen, man, I was trying to tell him, like, I think they're.
I know.
Now listen, I've been in the crazy house a bunch of times. Look at me, I'm okay, right? I've been he's a newcomer when it comes to going into the nut house. Trust me, he's okay, he's cool. You gotta believe that, you know? I've been here a couple of times, but I'm cool. I believe he's cool. That's all. I'm okay now. It's okay, man. I'm cool.
He's cool. He's tough.
You'd be surprised if we really need to go there. We just don't have enough time or enough money to get a psychological examination. Because some of us did. Of course, the doctor would say, "You wait here for a minute, please." And go back to those guys in little white jackets and lock you up. Man. There's no doubt there's crazy people just walking around the streets, man, just hanging out. They're be inside. Yeah, I do have a lot of pigeons. I have a lot of pigeons. 2,500 pigeons.
How many?
Around 2,500.
2,500 pigeons. Well, I knew you liked pigeons, but I didn't know you liked them 2,500 times. We'll be talking about the pigeons a little bit later on. What I'm looking to do now is just gloss through your career, Mike, to sort of give us a bit of a timeline on where we are now, very quickly. Obviously, there were 2 fights with Bruno. There were other world title defences thereafter. Bit of a spell in prison in between. We go forward then to.
Talk about when I lost to Buster Douglas.
Well, I was just coming to that.
You went to prison before Buster Douglas.
No, post. I was going to talk about that defeat. I was building up to that defeat because when I
think you're missing stuff sometimes.
I'm glossing. No, I'm squirming now in my chair. I was going to come to that defeat. That was what I was building up to because, interestingly, when we speak about that defeat, you actually said that it was good for you to lose. You learned a lot from that. Explain what you mean by the fact that when you fought Buster Douglas.
That's life. Like my fight with Buster is a metaphor for life. You know, everybody's gonna have some good times in life. It's like, right? All of us in here at one time, I don't think we had some money or had more than what we had at one point in our life. And then we fall into some adversity. And then that's when God said, let's see how tough it really is. And that was a fight I had to deal with. You know, that I got humiliated in worldwide television, but I didn't give up. I continued to fight, and became champion again.
You did.
And again.
Yeah.
You know? And that's because I could have gave up, but I did.
But this was right.
And that's what I wanted to do. That's what people that want to do. I wanted to do it in my life. I wanted to be a big-time fighter.
Well, let me tell you, there is no doubt in this room, if we were to ask everybody, if you could count on one hand the greatest fighters of all time, Muhammad Ali would be on that hand.
Tyson.
Mike Tyson, without a doubt. Would you agree, guys?
Thank you.
You would have to be on that hand. I'd probably have Sugar Ray Robinson on that hand. Would you agree with that one?
Big time,
Sugar Ray Leonard, perhaps? I've got one finger left. Who is
There's so many great.
There is so many
great fighters. That's probably not the greatest ever, but we love them for the characteristics that they possess that make them our favorite.
Who would be your all-time? Who would be your all-time
I don't know,
fighter?
I like Dempsey and List and those two kind of guys.
Yeah.
For me, about my style of fighting at those kind of guys, just to put the pressure on and it's all about destruction, the hurt business, you know?
Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a few questions because we're going to do a load more in the second bit. We'll be having a break in a short while.
Not a break.
And then we'll be coming back for more. So I'm going to grab, if it's okay, Mike, just a few of these questions.
Okay, it is okay.
Yeah? Do you want to have a drink or anything while I sort through these questions? Yeah, okay. Right. First question, this is from Martin Singh. Hi, Mike. How do you feel
I used
knowing...
to drink. I'm such a miserable alcoholic.
How do you feel knowing that you are the youngest ever champion?
I'm just grateful, Marty. Hey, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that cussed out the little crazy little kid and made a fighter out of him. I'm just very grateful. You know, I'm just very grateful.
Next one from Dion Williams. says that.
Hey, Dion.
Where's Dion?
Big D.
The big man.
Big D.
Used to be a song called Big John. Favourite fight of yours was against Trevor Burpee. What was your favourite fight of all your fights and why? Your favourite?
I think my favourite fight is with Buster Douglas. Because I always wanted to see one of those, when you used to be a young kid, you see one of those guys take one of those beats, he said, God, he's tough and he's coming back. And I said, wow, that's a good fight. And I learned a lot from that fight too, so I have to say that's my best fight.
What about the fight against Larry Holmes? How do you rate Larry Holmes? I know
no doubt he's one of the greatest fighters ever. That's the highest amount of admiration for him. It's nothing I can say derogatory about him.
From Alan Coggins, of all the fights you had, Mike, what was the hardest fight? What was the toughest fight?
All of them was tough.
Yeah.
In fact, they're all tough.
Anyone that jumps out particularly that you can recall?
Holyfield.
Yeah, man.
They're all tough.
I know you two are you're on much better terms now. Would it be fair to say that
Thank God, yes.
Yeah? That's good. Of all of the opponents that faced you, who hit you the hardest? That's from Mark Coggins. Who hit you harder than any other? You had some few.
Listen, I've been numb. Listen, when they hit you, it's just so hard to get hit you, you have to go numb, okay?
You've been numbed out a few times.
Yeah, that happens, guy. When they get you good, you don't feel like, ow, that hurts, man. So hard. No, you just don't feel it. Yeah, that's when they got you good, you just don't feel it, dude. The right, Big D? They tell you it hurt. You didn't get them good.
Mitchell Scott has asked, what would you change in your life so far? Is there anything that you'd change?
I think I would change, but I couldn't change it because if I changed them, I wouldn't have the life that I have now. I wouldn't get the life I have now for anything. So, I have to, eat all that stuff I want to change. I got to eat it now and take it with me.
Question from Tommy Gibson.
Hey, Tommy.
What would you say has been the greatest moment of your life? The greatest moment for you? That's a difficult question, actually, Mike.
Just recently, living my life, not getting high and drunk no more. Loving our law, just doing the right thing. That's the best thing that ever happened. Listen, I've had all this stuff with hundreds of millions of dollars, but I didn't care about it. But you don't have that money. Those are big entities.
Yeah.
I've been drinking more than I've been doing anything, so I used to God, I'm so happy I was able to do that in life,
So, I'm asking this question. I know that you have had millions of dollars go through your hands. According to my notes here, it says possibly as much as 300 million has gone through your hands, through purses and through various things that you've done in your life. But the best wealth of all, would it be right to say that happiness is by far, it's got to be the best wealth?
Listen, I don't know what this happiness is stuff, right? But that's just real cliche, but we're all real here. Let me say, just being able just to have someone, my wife and my kids, and now my kids respect me and we're doing things right. That's my contentment. That just makes me work now. That makes me, have the ambition to be here and to work and do the movies. Because I didn't want to do anything else, It's all about family. That's what I really think. It's all about family and close friends that you respect and having a good support system. Really, that's really all what it's about.
So it'd be fair to say, Tyler Scott, that leads into that question, that you're probably happier now than you've ever been in your life?
It's not going to get any better than this. When I die, if I died tomorrow, I would write, I died owing for a good life. It's an awesome life.
And we're going to close on this one. I don't mean to upset you.
No.
I don't mean to upset you when I say these two words. Don King.
Hey, come on, guys. Check this out.
Just tell us a little bit about your relationship.
I'm sorry, I was a young guy, I met Don. This guy was a monster and stuff. And Don is a dickhead, but you know, I was a dickhead too. I did bad things to Don too. And sometimes, this is what I learned in life, and this is some yoga stuff, right? Check this out, right? Sometimes if you want to forgive people for the things that you did to them in life, you have to forgive other people for what you thought they did to you. So it's all this love and forgiveness stuff. So but he is really a wretched piece of small. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair enough. You just say it the way it is. I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more about Don King in the second half. Mike, I'm just going to close in saying these people here in Bristol. There's
You have to give me his email anyway. Yeah, that's not a problem.
I didn't realise you did.
No way, Jose. Listen. You can't work alone, man. Just chill out over there, okay? And listen, right? Young man got the Rolls Royce dealership here. The where they make the factory at. I've been here before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bristol. Yeah.
It is a nice part of the world. What we're going to do now, Mike, if it's okay with you, we're going to give you a chance to just go and chillax backstage just for a few minutes. We're going to be doing the auction. In
How long do I have to go? How much time do I have to be away and come back?
Just a little while. Are you okay with that?
How much time do you want to give me, guys? 20 minutes?
As long as our management team say. But
okay, guys, but hurry up with the auction.
ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to Mike Tyson!